What's up, humans? And welcome to a new Psicoactivo. We have a new layout, new tech. Thank you to Bill from KGRA, Bill Skywatcher. I'm going to leave links in the description for giving me a tutorial and everything. I got a bunch of things already set up here. Today is the first video with this new layout, and I want to talk about the age of disclosure spoilers. So this is a major spoiler alert for everybody because we're gonna talk about a tweet where a person who attended the premiere on Tuesday, 11th of March, that meaning yesterday, he tweeted everything that he could remember. He told people that there was like a bunch of phone police people inside the theater, which is normal for screenings like this. But he remembered quite a bit, and I'm just going to go through it so you guys can check it out. I'm gonna share the screen now. I'm gonna be reading from this tweet from Jiggy Nut, and he says, I got to see Age of Disclosure at South by Southwest tonight. This sucker was dense with information and similar to the program. Covered a lot of the recent happenings. It was impactful to hear a similar message from so many in this film. A great primer for normies as well. Spoiler alert, I'm going to hit you with some things that stuck out to me that were new or interesting. Number one, irrefutable evidence, including video, exists. It was just a claim. Nobody showed anything on the documentary. Jay Stratton and Lou Elizondo tell their story in a way that came off as scripted, or at least meticulously laid out. This is normal for a documentary and for filmmakers. Although I want to see the tropes they used and all that stuff, just to see how scripted it was. But it's pretty normal, standard procedure for filmmakers. Puthoff confirmed he worked with other scientists in the legacy program we don't know about. That's interesting. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin was briefed on the crash retrieval program to anticipate the economic impact if Trump were to hold a disclosure press conference. The CIA's Science and Technology Division runs the CR program with more knowledge than the politically appointed CIA director. This goes back to the creation of the CIA months after Roswell by Truman in 1947. Hal articulated details on how the crash retrieval program works. The Department of Energy is outside of the normal classification system, which is why we've been able to keep it secret. Hal says there are multiple species. Russia recovered an 80-foot Tic Tac with humanoid bodies and a directed energy weapon. This is pretty interesting. Man, I want to see where they got that information from. The next three or four are very interesting. So listen. President George H. Bush told Eric Davis details of several crash retrievals since the 40s and the meeting with beings at Holloman Air Force Base. The Holloman Air Force Base incident is an interesting one. There's supposed to be video of these beings getting out of the craft and allegedly interacting with people from that base. I don't know if the video is real or not, but that's the story. That's how it goes. There's supposed to be video. Can't wait to see what details they talk about here. The Vatican knows the truth about NHI and covered it up. I'm not surprised by that if that's the case. We know that there's people investigating the Magenta crash from 1933, and there's a lot of lore surrounding that. Even the Nazi Die Glocke bell is mentioned related to this. We don't know exactly what the Vatican knows. They do have a library in there that has a lot of information that is not known to the public. And well, I don't know if they would come clean at all. If disclosure came, I think they would have to come clean on some things. Maybe not everything, but I think they would. The UFO incident in Stephenville, Texas involved President W's ranch, meaning Bush Jr., and the CIA showed up and denied Jay Stratton access. The Secretary of State Rubio spoke on how defense contractors claim UAP tech as their own. This is something that Ross Coulthard had already talked about on his show. Ross seemed to take a stance on the side of these companies like Lockheed, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman and General Dynamics, who allegedly have had these materials and worked on them and potentially even produced technology with them. People who defend this say that it's their intellectual property and they're well within their rights to protect that. And maybe that is the case, but they use technology from these retrievals in order to create that technology. So I see where the conundrum is there. It's going to be difficult to make it better. Like there's a lot of different points involved. There's even illegalities that may or may not have been committed. So that one is going to be one of the most difficult to figure out. Puthoff and Davis talk about propulsion bubbles and photos that show their effects. UFO pictures are fuzzy due to this. How convenient. 0 point energy and energy derived from quantum entanglement is real, according to Eric Davis. Yeah, this is a big claim. Main point of contention with 0 point energy here. To people within the mainstream scientific community, it's a crackpot theory. There's a lot of people within the UFO community that talk about this being real. I still don't know if we have been able to use this in order to create new propulsion or understand the world or transport to other planets. What I do know is that I've been studying Dr. Jacobo Greenberg's work, and this is essentially what he talks about when he tried to do the transfer potential experiment and um, tried to prove that ESP and telepathy and quantum entanglement between minds is real. We know what happened. He disappeared. This is essentially the same thing, but they're applying it to the nuts and bolts aspect. But if this 0 point energy exists, I would say it connects everything throughout the universe. I would say so. So this is a major claim, but it's so difficult to prove because we're talking about stuff that is non-tangible that I don't know if that's going to take long, but I want to see what Dr. David said exactly. So can't wait. The risk of letting this technology out is a big part of the secrecy. So, yeah, here's where we arrive at another case of splitting the atom, which happened in 1945 with the Trinity test. You guys remember that one? Yeah. So, when that happened, science and physics was never the same. And the level of impact that it had, we still see it to this day. Governments in the world fight over technology. We've been in an arms race for the longest time. He or she who holds the bomb is the world's superpower. Right now, it's the US and then Russia, the ones that have the most of those. But you can already imagine if some type of new technology that is weaponizable would like enter the mainstream. If it is destructive in any way or it can be figured out to destroy in any way, I can see why this would be like kept from the public because there's a lot of psychos out there, and there are a lot. So I get this completely. Jay says intense information, quote unquote, shouldn't be revealed, and it didn't seem like he meant technology. Pretty much an admission that reverse engineered UAP exists from Puthoff. This is a big one because he's now basically saying that ARVs are real from Dr. Hal Puthoff. We know that Dr. Eric Davis, when he spoke to Gerb on American Alchemy and to Missile Man, um, we know that he denied that they were real. Now, it seems like Dr. Hal Puthoff is saying they are. So, which is it? Before I continue, I'm going to ask you guys to please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notified when a new video drops. If you want to support the channel in any other way, there's a bunch of links in the description. Thank you for your support. As always, you can also be part of the members channel if you like it. And we are on the KGRA feeds. This video is actually going on my YouTube account, but all the KGRA feeds too. So I will show it there for you guys. But yeah, thank you for the support, everybody. So let's continue. A group of 27 threatened to kill Lou and Grush. Who are these 27? Are these 27 people? Is the group named the Group of 27? This was a little bit vague, but I guess we'll see in the movie what happens. Then Puthoff had a hopeful message that we may go to the stars. Man, this is really weird because I think that humanity, in order to go to the stars, they need to develop a certain type of communion with others and behavioral psychology that I just don't see right now in the bulk of the population. We're very territorial. We're like very tribalistic. We're very primitive in many ways. So, man, I wish everybody thought like Dr. Puthoff, who seems like a decent man. But the reality is that majority of people are not like that. So I think that we need to evolve first here and then think about leaving this place. And if we can't, tough shit. That's just the way I feel. I'm sorry. Lou's message that you'll say, I wish I would have known sooner, was ominous. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? Man, I want to see the movie. And then I already covered the key parts of the Q&A last Sunday. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave the link in the description. So, but thank you to Mr. Jiggy for doing this. So you got spoilers there. Let me know what you think about the spoilers, about everything they cover. But I still don't know where this film is going to roll out. There was like a lot of confusion because um, some outlets claimed that it was going on streaming on different platforms. And if you ask me, what would I do if I was Dan Farah? Dan Farah wants to get the biggest impact for the film. And this includes the festival circuit. That's why he's premiering it on the festival circuit. This means South by Southwest or Telluride or the one that Robert De Niro makes. Every film that is showed at a film festival is always like that. It gets that level of attention. And that only happens if you have the intention of making it like compete with other films in the film festivals and in the award shows. So if that is the case, I would want to get a theatrical release before sending it to streaming. You can pay for it or not. It's just going to the movies, and it is a movie from Hollywood. So, but if you don't want to, I'm guessing that if it gets a theatrical release, should be fairly soon. I would hope, and then after like a month, you just release it on every streaming platform because I think it should be released on every streaming platform with the subscription that you already have on your determined platform. I think that's what should happen. I don't know if it will, but I will keep you guys posted on how they manage to do this. That's gonna be it for me today. Let me know what you think about all the spoilers that I mentioned there, and let me know what you think about the reactions that we're getting from the film because every news outlet that does cinema is already covering this. I know that Collider had a pretty brutal reaction to this review. Let me know what you think about this reaction. And that's going to be it for me today. See you guys in the next one. And remember, stay curious. Bye.